Okay, today's lesson is all about using technology for your matrix operation, and of course you're going to use a graphics calculator in this matter. So the first thing that we're going to do, you have your textbooks out with you. If not, you can share it with yourselves. Page 406, and of course you will do that using those red boxes right in that textbook itself. Right, so what you need to do is, for example, once you turn on your graphics calculator, you have the main menu here, right? So you go to Run Map. The only way that you can access this is by executing it by pressing the EXE button, or you press just one itself. Okay, and you come into this section here. All right. Now, one thing that we have to do, we have to press F3 because we're going to define the matrix first. All right, this is to define the matrix. All right, you come into this screen. Matrix A, matrix B, matrix C, D, E, and F. On the right hand side, you will see with none, 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 and none. That goes to show it's not defined at the moment. Okay, so now if we take an example of how we can store a few of these matrices in the graphics calculator, right? You see matrix A here. So in the book itself, matrix A is a 3 rows by 2 columns. So what we're going to do here is press the EXE button. We enter into this. You'll pop up with a screen with a dimension m times n. So m here is the number of rows, n is the number of columns. All right. So in the book itself, we have 3 rows and 2 columns. So we have to do 3. Press the EXE button to make sure that is actually being put into the graphics calculator, and of course 3 by 2. Okay, and then equal sign, and you will come into this screenshot here. All right, so this is a 3 rows by 2 columns matrix, and all we need to do is just to fill in the numbers. So it's 2 EXE, 3 EXE, 1 EXE, 4 EXE, 5 EXE, and also 0 EXE. So basically, we have already defined matrix A in this case here, all right, a 3 by 2. So if I were to go back, you can press the exit button to go back to redefine another 2 matrices that we're going to talk about. Okay, so matrix B, again, if we have a look, it is still, right, it is still a 3 by 2. So use the arrows, right, use this arrow to go down to matrix B, press the equal sign, and you still come up with this same display. All right, the dimension, you have to define the number of rows and the number of columns. So it's 3 by 2, correct? 3 equals and 2 equals. All right, press another time so that you can define matrix B. Okay, so it's 1, 6, 2, 0, 5, and also 6. Okay, press it again to make sure that you're defining that matrix. Okay, press exit, and you will still get matrix 3 by 2 and matrix A 3 by 2, matrix B 3 by 2. Okay, anyone with any questions so far? No questions. Okay.
What do we do for the second?
Sorry?
The second one, please.
You just have to press the question here is, if you want to move to the next element, you just have to press the EXE button, because basically you're setting up. And if you need to redefine a certain element in it, use the cursors. All right? No, that's correct. All right? Whatever is given to you here, so you have to follow up. All right? So now we have already defined our matrices A and B. Okay? So we go back to that menu itself. Now, this is the trick here. How do we, let's just say, for example, have matrix A plus matrix B. What is the condition if you want to add the 2 matrices together? Yep, the number of rows and the number of columns have to be the same. So in this case here, how do we do that? Right? There is an option button, if you can see, OPTN. Press OPTN and you'll come up with another row of list, matrix, C, complex, calculus, and also statistics. what you do here is, once you press the option button, press F2, okay, and you come into another screen like this. Okay, so do you see this row here with a matrix button on the top left? So you just press matrix, okay, and at the bottom there, right, you see an alpha with the A, B, and C here. So this is basically telling you, once you have defined that matrix, all right, just press alpha and A, okay, and you get something like this on the screen, right, which is defined as matrix A. All right, and you do the same thing for matrix B. So we plus, all right, matrix and also alpha B in this case here, right? I'm not able to take a screenshot the entire thing, so you should be able to work out if you have the calculator on your own. All right, and once you have done so, matrix A plus matrix B, this is what you get in total. All right, 3, 9, 3, 4, 10, and 6. Okay, so far everyone is good with this? All good? Let's just say, for example, I want to have a scalar multiplication of matrix A, for example. So all I need to do here is, I plug in a number 2, I put F1, and I define matrix A, and I press the execute button, which is EXE, and this is what you'll be getting. Okay, so you have to know how to use the calculator in the exam, because there might be some questions they might ask you, use the graphics calculator to calculate the matrices, and this is what you're going to do. Okay, all right, so it's just a matter of getting a practice with it. All right, okay, now any questions on this so far? Everyone good? Let's just say if I want to redefine another matrix, right? So press the exit button, exit, and you come back to this line here, all right? So press F3 again. And if I want to define matrix C, for example, so again, we have to see the number of columns and rows. So let's just say 2 by 2, for example, okay? And we are going to define it. So 3, 4, 5, and also 6, all right? So once you've done that, exit it, exit another time, and you come back to this row. And again, if you want to come to that particular option, press option OPTN and also F2. Okay, you come to this. Let's just say I want to confirm that, one of the conditions is the number of rows and the number of columns must be the same if you have a subtraction or an addition operation. So let's just say I want to have matrix alpha A plus matrix F1 of alpha C, for example. Okay, what would the result be? Do you see dimension in error? All right, so this goes to show that if you want to add or subtract, you have to make sure the number of columns and rows are the same. Okay, remember matrix A is 3 by 2, matrix C is 2 by 2. Okay, so this is not very good, so we press the exit button to go back to where it is. And let's delete this line first, all right? Now, remember when we talked about the multiplication in terms of the matrix? The most important thing here is the number of columns for the first matrix must be equivalent to the number of columns the number of rows for the second matrix. Okay, so matrix A, let's have matrix A, matrix alpha A multiplied by matrix alpha C, for example. Okay, what do we get as a result? We have gotten this. All right, so as long as you know matrix A was defined as a 3 by 2 dimension, matrix C is given to you as a 2 by 2. So as long as the number of columns for matrix A is equivalent to the number of rows for matrix C, right, the second matrix, you will be able to multiply this together, and this was proven using the calculator. Okay, so it will take some time for you to get used to it. Any other questions in regards to this? No questions? Okay, so again, if you have any questions you want to ask me, don't forget to ask me in class, or you can even check this YouTube video. All right, thanks.